So we'll start with Bitcoin on the weekly. Last week, things were looking pretty decent. Start of the week a little rough. But it seems we've closed now our second weekly candle above the 20 weekly moving average. That's great news. Amazing news, actually. Right around here, this is likely a zone, actually, of resistance. Let's draw this as a rectangle. I'm going to go ahead and call this pretty much 58.8. On the weekly is 58.3, on the monthly 58.8. And you can really see this is where the resistance is. So closing above 49.1 is a really good sign of testing that 58 area. I know, it's wild, right? Going to be an interesting close. I believe a close above, let me get this out. I believe a close above 49.1 suggests that in, maybe not necessarily next week, could be, but in the weeks to come, we'll be looking to test these higher resistances. It only makes sense. There really isn't a lot. We can claim there's psychological 50K. That's a valid argument, but something tells me it's not going to be a big player. CME opened, no gap. There we are. And CME doesn't really have resistance until 60, so that lines up pretty well with 58.8, with the close last week being above resistance. CME looks kind of clear. It's very, very spicy. Each of them before this close. ADA, I mean, like, could we have been more on with ADA? The answer is no. ADA has looked strong since May's sell-off, held $1, was able to make continuous closes above $1.31, and here we are, guys, trading at $2.70. ADA is pushing into this close hard. If we zoom it down to the hourly, we're going to see that literally we are setting all-time highs into this weekly close. That is very exciting for ADA holders and for really the market in general. ADA is a large cap, and to see it run like this, to see it put in new all-time highs, really does serve to invalidate the bear argument. If we're in a bear market, why are large caps setting new all-time highs? Give me the answer to that. It's an open challenge. Give me a good answer to that. I'd love it. ADA is going to be looking for some higher numbers here. This is a new high in dollar value. The logical moves to the upside we're looking for are 475. Measured move sitting at $6.86. I don't want to rile you guys up, but closing this weekly here, I don't see any reason ADA isn't going to be reaching for that 473 side. Very clear cut. Interesting one. Ethereum not closing really like the other large caps we're seeing. Bitcoin closing a nice solid green candle. ADA closing at all-time highs. Ethereum painting perhaps a hammer of here, but support below us, 2,710 on the weekly. Our resistance here into the close, 3,310. Either way, resistance above us here from the weekly, just under 40,000. 39,028. Ethereum's looking pretty good. Pretty good. Really think is really reflecting not just ADA's strength as they move towards smart contracts, etc., but the market as a whole. This market is absolutely one giant living organism. Just like a human body, each part has a different function, but they're all they all have the same goal. They all have the same drive. So let's look at a lot of people out there are maximalists of different coins and think, oh, my coin is going to run. Doesn't matter what the rest of the market is doing. That's not how it works. I'm sorry. Hate to break it to you. It's not how it works. ADA running here into the close, ADA showing strength, is a positive sign for everything. It's not just, it's certainly a positive sign for ADA, but it is a positive sign for the market as a whole. Low, intra-week, we saw selling. We closed lower, yes, but there was enough buying pressure to close this candle back as a hammer. And I think the easiest takeaway here on Ethereum is, in this week, we're looking for 3,310 to break. If that breaks, we're looking for 4K. That's pretty simple. Pretty simple there. You break the local daily support or weekly resistance. You're looking for the next one. Below us, 29.51. That's likely the value. We're not going to want to see Ethereum trade below this week. We don't want to see a lower low on the weekly. If we do, maybe that red candle becomes a little more threatening. However, we do have solid support, untested, on the weekly at 27.10. If Ethereum does reach down to that level, there are going to be some spicy entries. So watch Ethereum. I'd say early June. So Ethereum on the weekly actually looking pretty good. We see the 20 weekly sitting at 26.44, moving up to that weekly level at 27.10. As I said earlier, if I was looking for a position in Ethereum, that's probably where you can see it really wasn't even tested as resistance, and it was never really tested as support. So to see that test as support wouldn't be mind-blowing. Likely as the 20 moves up, and you get a bounce there, and then you're looking to retest your highs at about 4K.